It's happened again, y'all. We talk about it time after time. Manipulation. And who to think? Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA, one of the best performing stocks over the past 2 years, they're manipulating the market right now. This man had the nerve to come out and say that he doesn't think quantum computing, something that they're hiring for right now, is not going to pop off and make any gains in 20 years. What kind of mess is that? So you gonna tell us they ain't gonna make any gains, but then you're gonna have a hiring freeze with everybody else, but quantum computing engineers? The fix is in, y'all. The fix is in, and we need to take advantage of the price manipulation that's going on today. How do we do that? We're going to go over that and what two stocks, in my opinion, might be things that we can profit because Jensen, Mr. Black Jacket himself, the zipper jacket, Michael Jackson style, is manipulating the stock market as we speak. Lego!
And you just wanna get paid. Tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Yeah, painful profits to help you seek change. And you just wanna get paid. Yeah, tired of making no money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Painful profits to help you seek change. Yeah, cut the show and just listen. You wanna feel empowered by making money decisions.
This guy. Market manipulation at its finest. Now, NVIDIA has been going bananas, going up like crazy the past 2.5 years, right? Stock of the decade so far. Now we got 5 years to go. MicroStrategies might take that place, but right now, NVIDIA is the stock of the decade. They have a competitive advantage like nothing else. They build chips that we do for our games. They manufacture them. They do the architecture work and they sell them. And now, because of their merger, silent merger, but with their takeover of SoundHound, all the artificial intelligence voices that we hear when we call the phone, they get a piece of that as well. So, a company that made so much money because of the information space we're in now, why would they manipulate the market? We know why. Because anytime a company can get an edge, that's good. And a company's number one job, especially the CEO, number one job, not to keep the customers happy, not to have the stock market go up or down, but it's to drive and add value for their shareholders. And how does that happen? Their stock going up. So if I'm a CEO and people listen to me when it comes to computing chips, if I come out doing my quarterly earnings call where everybody's listening because my stock is the stock of the decade, and I say, you know, that quantum computing everybody's talking about, where you can compute things faster than we can even think, where we can build things as quick as possible, as you can literally, as time goes on, create arithmetic problems and run algorithms on top of each other in milliseconds. All this craziness that we think we can do in the future, that's 20 years away. That ain't gonna happen anytime soon. So don't worry about it. Quantum computing, don't worry about investing in those companies. It ain't gonna be doing nothing for 20 years. And guess what's gonna happen? The stock analyst who listens to every single word, you need to sell it. So what happens to those big companies? The institutions, the move makers, we need to sell it. All quantum computing stocks have went down by over 40% over the past 2 weeks because of that guy behind me. But for him, it is genius. And what he's doing right now from a manipulation standpoint, you got to read a book like The Art of the Deal because he is doing the deal of all deals with himself and with his company. What do you mean? What could he be possibly doing? And why would he try to bring it down? Well, think about it. If I have everybody sell those quantum computing companies, the value of their stock goes down. The value of their company goes down as well. If I'm looking to get an edge and looking to see what the next best thing is, 5 years ago it was chips. Now chips, we got AMD, we got TSM, we got Intel that's going under. Chips are here. What's the next greatest thing? Well, if I can buy companies at a discount that was looking good, and out of nowhere I say something that's going down and I buy it at a discount, that's great because I get to integrate that with my chips. So we can do chips and quantum computing. And when you use quantum computing, you have to use my chips to do it. My friends, that is manipulation. And that is what's going on with Jensen. But it goes a step further. He also said, tongue in cheek, to the smart people like us in the world, that they're going to hire quantum computing engineers. What? What sense does that make? Something is not going to be used in 20 years. Why the heck would I hire individuals that's going to do something that's going to bring no value at all to anybody in 20 years? That's just like 20 years ago, right? When we was wearing our 3X shirts, chains, thought we was Nelly with the bandana, right? Leangelo Ball, whoa, swerve. That's where he got his new song from, right? Blast from the past or the future, right? That says one thing. Future trends always revert to the past. But he's not looking in the past, he's looking in the future. 20 years ago, just think if Apple, at that time, Steve Jobs, came out and said, you know what? This artificial intelligence, it is 20 years away. It ain't going to be out anytime soon. But then they hire a staff and increase their workforce by 10% of artificial intelligence engineers. You would think to yourself, well, that doesn't make sense. Artificial intelligence is not going to be here for 20 years. Why are you hiring engineers to do artificial intelligence today? Are they going to work for 20 years and not drive any productivity and not make your company money? If you think that, I got a Brooklyn Bridge I can sell you today. If you think that, I'm in Alaska and I can sell you some ice water. Come on, y'all. Manipulation. What Jensen is doing is trying to drive down the price of all, I repeat, all quantum computing companies because they're in the market to buy. They have made literally 800% over the past 2 years. They got a lot of cash on hand and they want to invest in the future. And they see the future when it comes to chips is quantum computing. So they're trying to get a competitive advantage. The reason why they hire the engineers because they want to test them on the technology that they have and on the technology that they integrate. But it's good to have a test because when you go and buy a company, the more you know about that company, the more you know about that company integrated in your systems and your chips, it's going to be a bigger bang for your buck because you're not paying as much as onboarding. So right now, today, Jensen is manipulating the total sector of quantum computing. Again, 20 years ago, that's like Steve Jobs saying, I do not think artificial intelligence is going to do anything for 20 years, and then turns around and hires 10% of his workforce to only do artificial intelligence. And what happened? 2007, 2008, 2009, AI slowly but surely comes onto the scene. Now, AI has exploded the past 5 years, but companies were using AI since 2009. It's happening right now. In 2 years, companies are going to slowly but surely use quantum computing more. And we're going to see it explode in our day to day life, not in 20 years, in 4 to 5 years. So, it's two things we can do. We could take Jensen for his word and be manipulated and buy quantum computing investments 5 years from now when it's already went up, up, up and away. Or we can treat this as NVIDIA 5 years ago. And we find quantum computing companies that are down dramatically right now that we can invest in. And when they go back up, because quantum computing as a sector will go back up and take advantage of something that's low. And we're going to go over two investments that I think is going to do very well when the quantum computing sector goes back up after the manipulation. So do you want to know what those companies are? Before we do it, like, subscribe, share to our channel. You know, we're growing, y'all. In real life, I'm a certified financial planner, managed over $250 million in assets. But on these YouTube streets, I'm giving out great information like we are here. And let's go over those stocks right now. So the first stock we're going to talk about is IONQ, the company IonQ. And this stock, look at this, y'all. Look, we're going to make this bigger. We can see just all the growth, all the massive growth. Whoop. Look at this. From September at $7.22 a share, it went as high as 655% in a matter of 4 months. Now, again, if I'm this guy behind me, Jensen, and I'm looking to get into quantum computing, what's the best way for me to do that? Buy something that is high or wreck the system so I can buy it at a lower price. And guess what? Him, Zuckerberg, and a few other CEOs said quantum computing is years away. You know what's going to happen? After they make their purchases, buy these stocks, buy these companies, they're going to come out next year and say, you know what? Technology moves so fast. We thought it was 20 years away. It's 4 years away. And this thing is going to go up. But from now until then, it's going to go up automatically because of the big institutions buying this at a lower price. And why do we say that? Look at this, y'all. From literally January 6th to today, it's down by almost 50%. Went up by 600%, and literally half of the gains got washed out by one of the most powerful CEOs and Zuckerberg doing this jujitsu. I know it's Zuckerberg. Bootsy says Zuckerberg is funny, but all respect, Mark, all respect. Look what happened. One tweet, two CEOs, one tweet, two CEOs, one neck, two chains. If y'all from Cincinnati, y'all know that. Anyways, though, as you can see, half of it has been washed away, going from $54 to $27. You don't think that this will go back up once the announcement is made that we're not 20 years away from quantum computing, we're 4 or 5 years away? And do you think that they're going to make that announcement that we're 4 or 5 years away now, or when they bought their fair share of this stock or stocks in plural, or companies where they're testing their chips to make sure that the chips can keep up with quantum computing? This is the manipulation game. And it's two ways that we can play the game of manipulation. We listen to this guy, and he's done some great things in the world, and we get manipulated and we buy it when it's back at $50 a share. We could buy it today at $27 a share, and we feel good because it was high as 54. Or do we play the game that he's playing? Identify something that's going to come, that's picking up speed, that companies are trying to buy right now at a lower price, and we take advantage of that. I say, not with all your money. Don't YOLO. Drake, what you doing? Telling on LeBron, man. LeBron James. Let LeBron be LeBron. But seriously, let's not be manipulated. Let's take advantage of this stock risk tolerance level, though, y'all, and other stocks like this in the sector, and buy low. One more stock to talk about, though. Lego. The second we want to talk about is an ETF. An ETF is an exchange traded fund. An exchange traded fund is an investment that has a pool of stocks in a specific sector together. And this, by defiance, not recommended as a stock, but something you should research, is a way to buy multiple quantum computing companies in one investment. So, what if we don't pick the right quantum computing stock? And the quantum computing stock we pick doesn't grow as much as others. Well, if it's all in a fund, you get the good with the bad. So typically, funds are a more diversified and historically safer way to invest in the stock market. So since quantum computing is new, and yes, some of the quantum computing companies will fail, it's history. All companies in the sector does not succeed. They fail. They don't grow as much as everything else. To make sure instead of throwing a darts on the board, we buy the whole board, this ETF. Now this ETF, it went down, right? It has been down, but only by 6%, when a lot of the stocks in that fund is down by 50%. So this gives us an opportunity to take advantage of a sector that we know is going to grow and have some diversification behind it. So, my profiteers, what are we going to do? We're going to be manipulated. We're going to circle back to 20 years ago when Steve Jobs said, he didn't say this, but as example, AI is 20 years away and we kick ourselves in the foot because we didn't invest in those AI companies that they was invested in right then and there, we wouldn't do that 20 years ago, would we? We may have. And we look back 20 years later and be like, man, that's the worst decision ever. Well, today we have the opportunity to be in the next sector. Chips right now is the sector where it was at least 2 years ago. Now today is quantum computing. So we roll with it and do what he does or get rolled over and look a year, 2, 3 years later, be like, man, I had my chance. Your chance is now. Don't get manipulated, y'all. And of course, love is love. As always, let's make some painful promise together, y'all. Peace.